The search for Michael Vaughan continues. Michael went missing from his neighborhood in Fruitland in July of 2021. He was just 5 years old at the time. Law enforcement has spent the last year and a half investigating. But the Fruitland police chief says a credible tip led investigators to a home near Michael's neighborhood this weekend.
Crews are back out in Fruitland today searching for Michael Vaughan. Police believe his remains are in the backyard of a Fruitland home, and today is the 6th day crews are excavating the yard. Crews could be at the house on Red Wing Street for another week. This house is just 4 minutes from the Vaughn's home.
As you know, from the time Michael went missing, this has been an all-hands-on-deck investigation, and it remains very active and an ongoing investigation. You can't take one of our most precious citizens from us and ever expect us to stop. During the course of this investigation to date, we received credible information that the remains of Michael Vaughan could be found in the backyard at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland. As a result, the Fruitland Police Department obtained a search warrant for the residence along with the front and backyards. That search warrant was served on November 11th. It was a Friday. We served that late in the evening. Upon entry, officers encountered Stacey Wondra, one of the known occupants of the home, and Sarah was subsequently arrested based on probable cause that she had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report that death to law enforcement. The following day, the Fruitland Police Department, joined by the Idaho State Police, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, the Fruitland Fire Department, and the Fruitland Public Works Department, began a very methodical excavation of the backyard of the Wondras' home. During that excavation process, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, Mountain States detection dogs deployed multiple certified human remains detection dogs on the property, all of them alerting to the presence of human remains. Ground penetrating radar was also used and deployed, detecting anomalies in the backyard. We completed the excavation of the entire backyard and removed over 250 yards of dirt. Prior to backfilling the yard, the dirt was meticulously sifted for any potential human remains. We did not find Michael's remains. Although the remains of Michael Vaughan were not recovered, we strongly believe, based on evidence, that Michael was abducted and is deceased, and that his remains were buried and later moved from the property. As of today, the whereabouts of his remains are unknown. However, the investigation is active, fluid, and ongoing. Once the excavation was complete, we conducted a thorough search of the Wondras' residence. The search was productive, and additional investigative evidence was recovered and is currently being processed.
Evidence suggests that the following individuals who are currently in custody are involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughan. Stacey Wondra, 35 years old. Sarah lives at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Sarah has firsthand knowledge and is involved in Michael's abduction. Stacey Wondra is currently being held at the Payette County Jail for failing to report a death to law enforcement. And Stacey Wondra, 30 years old, a male. Stacey was also living at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Stacey has firsthand knowledge and is involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughan. Brandon Shirtliff, 30 years old, of Kuna, Idaho. Brandon was living with Sarah and Stacey Wondra at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance, and we believe Brandon has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction. Adrian Lucian, 32-year-old male out of Toledo, Ohio. Adrian was staying with Sarah and Stacey Wondra at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance, and we believe that Adrian has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction.
Good evening, everybody. Nice to see a full chat room. Yeah, hi, Connie. Hi, Purple. How are you? Avi, Yaya. We got Amanda in here. Thank you guys all for coming. Today is December 8th. It is a little after 5 p.m. in the Pacific Northwest. And tonight, Hotmess is going to join us. She, Stacey Wondra's ex-roommate, she has already been on the show once, a little bit of the spur of the moment, but I had a long 4-hour conversation with her, and she and I got along so well, and she was so ready to come back up for an interview. So we're really super excited. And hello, Amanda. Nice to see you. Hello, Sammy. How are you? That's my nickname, Sammy. It is so nice to see a full chat. Chaos Queen, thank you for being here. Hello, hello, hello. All my beautiful family and friends, I love it. Hello, Amanda. So up at the top, I decided to pin up the Vaughn's holiday wish list again on Amazon. If you want to buy a present for the Vaughan family kids in the house, or, you know, purchase one of those gift cards so that they can use it for whatever that they need there at the house, or gift cards can be purchased so that Blue and Bubba can buy something for themselves, since teenagers are so hard to pick presents out for sometimes. And then, of course, Buggy, she likes rainbows, like all little girls do, and she loves magical unicorns, and she loves tie-dye clothes. And this is, you know, helping the family out while Brandy's sick and unable to work. And we're here to do another live. I don't even know what else to say. I have Hotmess sitting in the background, so, you know, let's give her a warm welcome. She was amazing on our last live. You guys are more than welcome to ask her any questions. If I see them, I'll put them up and we can talk about it. If I don't get to one of your questions, I'm super sorry. It's going to depend on how fast chat's moving around, but she's agreed to answer questions and stuff. You know, this live is to put out more information about Stacey Wondra. He is one of the 4 suspects in the Michael Vaughan abduction. And, you know, why not talk to somebody who lived with him for 5 days, right? Okay, so let's give a warm welcome for Hotmess.
Hi, everybody.
Did you like that? Hotmess.
Hotmess. I know. I finally
Love
figured
it.
out how to get my name off of there. So thank you, Sammy.
Yeah, no problem. I know everybody, like, I got so many messages after you came up and spoke on Thursday night, like, please have her come back. Don't forget to call her and have a conversation with her. There's got to be more to it, more to the story. People telling me that you had been on Dolly Vision's channel and that you'd spoke about some other stuff. So
Yep.
I'm really excited to have you here, and thank you for coming back and joining us to, you know,
Well,
answer some questions in the chat and just you know.
yeah. First off, I cannot talk. If I can't talk about something, it's because LE has it, law enforcement. So because there was credible information, and there were other people that came forward. So if I
Totally understandable. We don't want you giving out any kind of information that can hinder Michael's case.
Right.
We're
Sorry,
just kind of
I'm putting all my Michael stuff away. So it's Sunday, so I was out hanging flyers and put one on Tina's mailbox. Came back 2 hours later and it was already gone.
Yep.
She does
You were
not like
out there
Michael flyers.
being a busy bee today with your flyers.
Oh, I was. Oh. Yeah, I had to get a new yard sign made. Nampa Police Department allowed me to hang one there, and I also let them know that Stacey is in the area and what is going on. So I do believe that Nampa PD and Fruitland will be watching tonight. So yay.
Well, let's hope so. That'd be cool. I mean, I know they watch pretty much anything that goes on the YouTube channel when suspects and stuff are talking. So, yeah, tell us. It was kind of interesting to find out that you told me today, actually, that you had to replace the sign up in your yard. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the signs that I have all over my truck, we had a really bad freeze last night and they were laying on the ground, you know, the tape it all just came unstuck. But the yard sign, it is coincidence. I'm not sticking up for him, but I know it wasn't Stacey. We've had people walk around the neighborhood and take our Trump signs or Kamala signs and even the Kennedy signs that were out here. So people, for some reason, just don't like signs in people's yards. So yeah, so I had another one made today.
Hold on 1 second. I need to look at a text. Beep, beep, beep. I'm not seeing a text. Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Everybody is welcoming you in. Hold on 1 second. Let me check one more time.
Yeah, I was going to start from the very beginning tonight. And then, yeah.
Okay, I got the message that I was trying to find. Okay, sorry. Let's get back to it. Yeah, I mean, when I put questions and stuff in order, some of it is, you know, from the very beginning, and then some of it's not. I mean, we might end up jumping around a little bit or something, but we're definitely going to get through everything. I know you told me that, you know, you had an ad out and Stacey responds to it. And on January 14th of 2024, you go up to meet with Stacey in Boise. Tell us about that.
Okay, well, real quick, I'm going to start in 2020. When COVID hit, I had to call Harley Davidson to let them know it's COVID, I can't work, and I need you to come pick up my motorcycle. So February 14th, they picked up my motorcycle, and so I've been without ever since. In 2021, I believe it was July 28th, it was the day after. Now, I hadn't heard about Michael yet. A friend of mine from Idaho City calls me up and he says, hey, there's a little boy missing in Fruitland. Do you want to go search for him? I said, absolutely. So he drove down. The crew picked me up. We went down there and we were there all day. And it was not cool outside. There must have been at least 80 bikers. And there was, I would say, a good 300 people from all over the valley, you know, trying to help, looking, garbage cans under vehicles, knocking on doors saying, hey, can we look in your backyard? So it was a huge gathering, and it showed that Idaho knows how to come together.
Right. And they really did come together for Michael. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I didn't hear of anything the next few days or the next few months. You know, I knew Michael hadn't been found. I did know that. So I really didn't follow it after that. Well, in January, I put up an ad, you know, unfurnished room for rent, $700. And I had a lot of different people come look, and they would, I should have had better judgment on this one. Stacey called me up on the 14th. He says, hi, I'm calling about your room for rent. I said, all right, well, tell me about yourself. He says, well, my name is Stacey. I'm currently living in a homeless shelter because I'm in the process of a divorce, and I need to be honest with you. I did get out of prison 2 months ago, and it was an old gun charge, but it's not a violent charge or anything. And I said, okay, everybody has a past. And he said all the right things. I said, and he said he was going to find a ride over to come look at the room. A few hours went by and he called me up and he says, I'm having a hard time. He says, I'm still trying to figure out how to get out there. I said, I don't have any gas or else I would come get you. He says, well, I'm really good at panhandling money. I can get you a full tank at a gas station. And I said, no, no, no. So I used some of my utility money, went out there, picked him up, and I'll
He
tell you what.
literally said he said he would panhandle you to get
He
some
did.
money for gas.
He
Oh
did.
my
He
God.
said that if we go to a gas station, he could get me a fill up in less than a half an hour. He said
Oh my
he's
God, what a
really good
loser.
at begging for money. And
Yeah.
of course, I didn't want to be seen doing that. So I said, no, don't worry about it. You can pay me later, on the way to the house. I'm an honest person. I'm not going to sit there and lie. And I told him, I says, roll your window down. I said, you've been in that shelter a long time. He says, I know, I stink. I'm sorry. And he bummed a cigarette off me and rolled the window down. I said, yeah, you need a shower. He goes, I agree. He did. He smelled really bad. But we got here to the house. He threw his stuff in the bedroom. A little while later, he had food delivered, and I was actually in the kitchen cooking. I was making fried, baked ravioli and marinara sauce with cheese and stuff. So he ate his pizza and his sub and ended up having ravioli. And he's talking to his friend. And at the time, I did not know it was Brooks. I just knew her as Brooke. She's like, oh, thank you so much for giving my friend a place to stay. Is it okay if he gives me your address? I'm going to have Omaha steaks sent, which she never did. And I was absolutely. Now I didn't know who Brooke was, you know.
Hold on one second. So
Sure.
I have some questions just because of some things that you're talking about. So when he tells you that he just got out of jail or prison or whatever, what did he tell you that he was in there for?
He said that he was helping a friend out and he was pawning a gun for them, and he got in trouble because he was a drug felon from Montana. And that I understood, and I thought, okay, the guy was trying to help somebody. I'm stupid. And I'll admit I was desperate for a roommate, for someone to help me pay half the rent. So
Sammy
sorry.
here is saying, Stinky Stacy, that's how he got in a fight in jail and kicked out of a hotel. Oh my gosh, I remember that. He had this conversation with Brooks about how he got kicked out of there because he was, such a mess inside that
Yeah.
hotel room and he stinks so bad, and that woman at the hotel didn't want him there anymore or nothing. And you're
She
telling
goes,
him that
you
he
stinky,
stinks and
stinky.
stuff. Yeah, you're saying that you're telling him he stinks and stuff on the way home, but then you also said even though you guys got back to the house and stuff, he never took a shower.
No, not for the whole 5 days he was here. Now, I had to have surgery a few days later. And on the way to surgery, I was driving, and Stacy said he was going to sit there with my vehicle and my service dog. And I said, if you have to, but I don't think you will have to, you can run back to the house because it's just right up here. You can run back to the house and check on my boys. They're in the kennel. And my surgery was only an hour and a half, and it took him in between an hour and 2 hours to get there to pick me up. We kept waiting and waiting and calling, and he wasn't answering. So, but yeah, he smelled really bad. He left that bedroom trashed.
So
I
you're
had to.
saying you go to this, you're talking about the appointment you went to and he took your truck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't you say something about him like breaking the truck? What happened?
After I got into the truck, he goes, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I took your truck to a car wash. I wanted to detail it for you. And when I went through the car wash, your windshield wipers came off, and I had just got those. at Dennis Dillon the week before when I had my oil changed. So there's no way they came out. I had already been through the car wash at least once a week I go.
And
So
you're
I don't
saying
know.
he took your truck without your permission.
Yes, and he went to the Fred Meyer's in Caldwell and got gas with gift cards or money, but I still don't know how he got the money for the windshield wipers. He said he put $40 in, but the needle hadn't moved. I was like just barely above full.
So he
So
pretty much stole your truck. How long were you waiting at the doctor's office trying to get a hold of him and waiting for him to come back?
when they took me back into surgery, he came back with me. And then for the, so they could get me all set up with the IVs and the sexy hairnet and everything. He was back in there with me. We had Maya, my service dog, with me. And my keys, my purse, and everything was in a plastic bag on the bed. And then they took me back into surgery. And I figured he was just going to wait there because it was only going to be an hour and a half. And I said, if you need my truck to go to, if I'm in there extra long, you can go back and check on the boys in the kennel. And he said, okay. I didn't tell him to go 2 towns over to Caldwell and then go to the car wash and whatever he did for another 2 hours that took him to get back to pick me up, between hour and 2 hours.
So
I
he
have
had
no idea.
permission to drive your truck, but he didn't have permission to drive all over hill and back in your truck.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So the day after he moved in the afternoon, he says to me, my friend Marissa is coming here on a medical transport from Oregon and her appointment got canceled for this evening. Can she stay the night? Or can she stay? And I said, how long? He goes, just one night. So Marissa had taken a medical transport or something to where she had to go, which was going to be here. But the day of my surgery, when I got home, she showed up here an hour later.
Yeah, and I have questions and stuff about Marissa. She's actually on my list of stuff to talk about on everything that I put together here. So there are a lot of people out there that are super curious about Marissa, who she is, where she lived, and everything. So a lot of people, so she goes by Zoe West. Her name is Marissa. Nobody's really been able to find out who her last name is.
Nope.
And she's a woman that had some property over in Oregon, and I believe that was in Christmas Valley, and she's married to a man named Bruce Quaid. And so she's the one that comes over to the house. Stacey asked for permission, and this is the day after he moves in. And yeah, can you tell us a little bit about what you know about the property and like
Conversation. Yep. So after she was gone. Oh, go ahead.
And I was just going to say, tell us more about the property and what you know about Stacey visiting the property and stuff and when he did that.
So when they were here, when she was here, she was, for one, she was running around in stretch pants and a tutu and a glittery top. And she's a very nice girl. And she can be intelligent, but she's, a little bit slow, a little immature, let's just say. We got to talking and she was talking about, I didn't ask how they met. Stacey had said that they've been friends for a couple of years. It wasn't until after, all right, so on the 21st, I'm bringing in my late trash cans and stuff, and my neighbor says to me, Kelly, I recognize that guy that's staying with you. He's one of the suspects in the Michael Vaughan case. And I was like, Michael Vaughan? I hadn't heard that name in almost 2 years. I came inside, Marissa was cooking, and I said, what's he doing in the bedroom? He's in there talking. He goes, he's talking about the case. I said, what case? She says, the Michael Vaughan case. He's doing an interview. And that set me off. I knew my neighbor was telling the truth and not just, oh, he looks like somebody. I made him come. I started screaming and yelling. And if Stacey ever comes on here, he'll tell you I was pissed. He came out and I said, "Is this you?" And I'm showing him her phone. He says, "Yeah." I said, "Why didn't you tell me who you were?" Or I said, "Are you stupid? They've been looking for this boy for a year and a half." I said, "Why would you not tell me this?" "Well, I thought you knew." He had been here 5 days. I mean, I have DVDs that I watch. And at the time I was using the Airbnb internet next door for my PlayStation to use Netflix, and so that night I couldn't throw her out being as sick as she was, because she's got her port and she was going to do some kind of dialysis or chemo or something the next day. So my bedroom door is directly across from where Stacey's is. So I slept the entire night with my bedroom door wide open, pew pew loaded, other pew pew loaded. And he sends me a text message, "I should probably pack my shit, huh?" And I yelled in there, "You're damn right." And I'm
Right.
making light of it.
Right,
Next.
because there was a lot of people asking questions, just wanting to know, how did you not know that that was Stacy when you showed up in Boise at the shelter and
Yeah.
saw him and met him, that he was one of these suspects? But in reality, what was going on is you weren't on social media, you weren't watching regular television, none of that. So you had no clue that they even had suspects in his case. So
I'm gonna
you didn't
I'm gonna
put
tell
two
you
and two
something,
together.
Sammy. Okay, so I had more flyers printed up today. I passed out over 100 flyers and I hung flyers everywhere. And on these flyers, it has Stacy's photo.
Right.
One person out of everywhere that I went today, and all the flyers that I passed out and taped in buildings and this and that, only one person said, "Oh, I heard about this guy," pointing to fat ass. One person out of the 200 people that I encountered today, only one person knew who he was.
Yeah, when
But
I first got asked to go on the case and stuff too, I didn't know who Michael Vaughan was. One of the reasons why I decided that I wanted to, do his case, because I knew he did want awareness. And this is actually the flyer that she just showed, that shows the suspects and
yep,
everything, shows Michael's new aged progressed picture. And if anybody has any tips about the four suspects, Sarah Wondra, Stacey Wondra, Brandon Shirtliff, or Adrian Lucian, please contact Fruitland Police tip line at 208-642-6006. And if you can, click the link up at the top on that Amazon wish list for Michael Vaughan's family, and do what you can to help. And praying is always free. We're always praying for Michael. We're always praying for his family. Just remember that link's up there. You can copy it and paste it and go to it later, or click on it now, whatever it is that you want to do. We're just trying to help the family. And so, yeah, about Marissa. So
well,
Marissa lives in Oregon in Christmas Valley,
okay, yeah.
and a week after
A few days
Michael,
after, yes, I'm going to tell you that part right now.
yeah,
So a
a week,
few days after I threw Stacey and Marissa out, she called me up apologizing and blah blah blah, and I started asking her. I said, "How did you meet him? How did you get mixed up with this guy?" She says, "Well, in 2001, a couple of years ago, I called some friends of mine that live in Fruitland, and because I had to move from a 5-acre property to a 40-acre property because I rescue dogs and I have almost 40 dogs." I said, "All right." And they brought this guy, Stacy, to help. And we've been friends ever since. That was 1 week to the day. It was 7 days. It was the 28th of July. that he was out on her property helping move
Well, it was a
refrigerators.
week after he came up missing. It was like a little bit after, like
Yeah.
within the first week of August or whatever, because on Crime Sleuthen's show, a long while back, she was actually going through some pictures from Stacey's phone and slowed down one of these videos, and it
Yep.
showed, you know, him traveling over to Oregon and everything else. And I'm pretty sure law enforcement went and talked to Marissa about a phone that she had of Stacey's.
Yes. She
Um,
had several phones of Stacy's. One he left there on accident the day of that move. And she called Fruitland, and it took them hours apparently to get there. She turned it in. There was a lot on it, and Stacy never got that phone back. And
oh,
then
from what I understood, um, she gave well, I'm not sure about the phone. I just know they talked to her about the phone. I'm not sure any other um
right. I don't know
stuff
how they
about
got
it.
it or if they
But I
did.
do know that dogs had went out there.
Mhm.
Supposedly dogs have like went out to that property and stuff too. So many people were really interested about this because, you
I'm
know,
not
just a week.
sure of any of that information. I mean, I can only go by that would be
Yeah, I know
hearsay
you
if I
can't.
said
It's just,
anything. Yeah.
yeah, it's just information that I know of the case and stuff. But
Right.
um and then of course, you know, Crime Sleuthen showed that timeline and showed that he was out of the house and over there in Oregon. So I
Yep.
was just connecting the dots and stuff. So yeah, law enforcement, I'm pretty sure, went with their dogs over there on that property. And we're talking a big piece of property. She's living over here on this property. She is not got electricity. She's living in a trailer. She's completely off the grid. She's
Yep.
not wanting to talk about her last name or tell anybody who she is or nothing, which I actually find really, really suspicious. And like I
Exactly.
said,
So
so many people are just like, oh, is that the girl that owns that land over there in Oregon? And that's all stemming from the fact that, you know, everybody knows that the Crime Sleuthen, you know, did that live and showed that he was traveling there just a week after Michael's
his
disappearance.
whole photo
Kind of
roll.
huge.
Yep,
Yeah.
his whole photo roll. My house was in that, my dog on that photo roll, and that photo roll also led to a few other things that we will get to.
Right.
But
Yeah. Well, some other questions that I have written down here and something that you and I talked about, and I really, really, really want to talk about this because you told me that you had a conversation with somebody and that they told you that Stacey talked to this person that you were spoken to. So this is a hearsay, hearsay, hearsay thing, but you had a conversation with somebody that told you Stacey said that Sarah came in the house with Michael on her hip. And I want to hear more
actually,
about that.
um, I'm actually what it was is it was somebody else that I cannot name. He is
Right.
a new person in the case as a witness. Um, he had told me, okay, let's back up a little bit. While Stacy was here, he had Ubers and all this other stuff, all kinds of people picking him up, taking him places. Turns out, I'm trying to phrase this to where it won't, okay, just a new witness came forward and it was told to me, and I convinced this person to go to Fruitland, get a hold of the detective. I gave him the number. He took somebody with him because he was scared, absolutely terrified of Stacy. And the information that I was told by this person was that he was at Stacy's home and he's hanging out with Stacy, and Sarah came in with a child that this person believes was Michael. Stacy says, "What are you going to do with that?" And she says, "We need money, right?" And that's all I know of it. I don't know anything else of that part. That's what was told to me by a person, that
Mhm.
the person that was there. And then that person went to Fruitland and talked to Ellie.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
That's just totally insane. And I'm glad you were able to get this person to like go talk to law enforcement, because that's just huge, huge, huge.
Yep.
I just remember that being talked about, and I was floored. I couldn't even. I mean, my brain, right now, even talking about it, I'm just like,
Well,
wow.
let me
So
touch real quick on how all this got started. The day after, I thought it was like 4 hours, but I had to go back and look at Dolly's interview, and I'm like, oh, that was the day after I threw him out. I did Dolly's interview, and a week later, a creator got a hold of me. This creator asked me if I wouldn't mind becoming Stacey's friend, and I felt sick to my stomach. I literally, I wanted to go in the bathroom and poop. And I thought about it, talking to this person, and I did. And I sent you the phone call. Now, mind you, this creator and Fruitland set my phone up and everything with everything I needed for every meeting, every conversation, everything that I needed to get on Stacey. So I didn't do anything illegal. I didn't do anything that didn't get turned in. Everything was turned into Fruitland, and it brought a lot of new evidence, things that he said, like when he told. All right, I'm not gonna say that part. So this creator and I worked together for the last 10 months. I'm not going to say who it is because there's other things going on.
we don't need to know who it is.
Right.
I mean, I know that the whole situation and stuff, and we don't even have to go there. I'm just really glad that you've been able to help Michael's case and turn stuff in. And I'm really, I'm excited to do another live with you soon, because we've talked about that too, and just share things that we know that you're able to share with everybody.
All
Yeah,
all the evidence that I gathered, every single thing that I gathered is what put him back in prison. Admitting to me, on the phone, calling me up, telling me I got high last night.
Right.
What about your PO? Oh, I don't test for another week. Oh no,
Oh yeah,
he
while
tested
we're
the next
mentioning
day,
that,
thanks to me.
yeah, let's so he is dating this girl, Brady. She's dating Stacey for a few weeks. They live together in a van that Stacey has. They're
Yep.
doing drugs together. They're hanging out in a hotel room with other friends and everything else. And this is the girl that he's actually doing drugs with right before he has to go take a pee test for his parole officer.
And
Exactly
he
what you're
has
talking about.
and he has no idea that I have a hidden camera and recording everything. He had no idea. So him telling me, we got high last night on meth and blah blah blah, boom, that went straight to LE and straight to his PO.
Yeah. So this is Brady, and that was them sitting on your couch at your house.
Who is that? Is that Brady?
Yeah, these are all pictures of Brady that I got.
She didn't look like that at my house.
Yeah, and then his other girlfriend was Danny.
Oh,
and
Danny.
Danny met Stacey through Brady, right?
Yep.
Yep, and helped sell some of the Stacey's phones and iPads when Stacey went to jail, to add money onto his commissary. And then I remembered, after I found out this information, I remembered you telling me a story about
the $15,000 loan with Verizon in the bank. Yep.
Yeah, going into Wells Fargo, getting a loan, using that LLC from his taxi service as a, I don't know, whatever, to get that loan, goes into Verizon Wireless, buys iPhones, buys iPads, don't really, you said you didn't know how many iPads he had, and then put them on sale on
On
Craigslist
Craigslist.
for
Yep.
$1,500 a piece.
Yep.
And so he ends up getting arrested, going back to prison for all of his parole or violations. And then this Danny girlfriend here, which I think is just, she looks so much like Sarah Wondra to me.
Everybody he has
insane.
around looks like Sarah and acts like Sarah.
Yeah, she looks so much like Sarah to me.
Yep.
And
the other thing
here
is,
she is
he
trying
talks
to
to
sell.
Sarah constantly.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. But yeah, she's over here trying to sell these phones now for him and iPads for him because he's already got these parole violations and stuff, and he needs to you know, get those sold and everything. So she's doing him some favors. And that was another question that I had.
So real quick on
it
this
was-
girl, Danny, she kept asking me, hey, when he gets out of jail, can he stay with you? I said, absolutely not. Now, this girl, Danny here, she comes from a very well-off family, and her mother would not allow Stacey in the home. So Danny lives in an apartment on her own. But she couldn't have Stacey come back there because the mom found out who he was. And mom pays her rent, so therefore Stacey had no place to go again because someone found out again who he was.
That's just absolutely crazy. And then, yeah, going back into what you were saying, because I asked you when we were on the phone the other day, who was Stacey talking to while he was at your house? Because I wanted to know if you heard any conversations that he was having or anything with anybody.
Sarah, 2, 3, 4 times a day. And when he started yelling, he got mad one night when he was here because he was doing a YouTube, and he got really ticked off at me and Marissa because we were out here laughing and the dogs were barking, and he came out here and exploded. And I told him, if you ever raise your voice like that in my house again, you can keep walking out the door. Because all my dogs ended up running over into the corner thinking, oh my God, why is somebody yelling? What did we do wrong? You know, and I love my dogs.
Right. I remember you telling me that the dogs ended up curling up on the couch and stuff because they were terrified because he was hollering and like stomping around on the floor and stuff. And yeah, so
yeah,
and
well, I guess he was in the bedroom doing a YouTube. So he was in the bedroom doing a YouTube and got all mad because the dogs were out here barking.
Yeah, I mean,
Right. Yep.
having him yelling and screaming and being that big and everything else, were you scared when he was starting to holler and stuff?
Not when he scared my dogs. I had no problem sticking up to him. I mean, and you can see in that picture, my one black and white standard poodle was always, wanting to cuddle up because he's special needs. Believe it or not, my standard poodle is special needs. He constantly has to be laying on somebody, put his head in your armpit and everything. I couldn't let my dog sleep with me on the bed at night because my poor dog smelled so bad after being on Stacey. So,
oh my God,
I'm being serious, and I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating. My dog's face smelled so bad from Stacey's body odor and the famunda cheese from under every wrinkle. Yeah, I ended up having to bathe poor Ripley twice. So
okay. I need to make an email real quick. I want to know if anybody has any questions, and I'm seeing that she wants me to hold on one second. We need to pause for a moment.
okay, I need to go switch dogs. Yeah, I need to switch the dogs out from where they're at.
I have you at Purple Nights. That's the one I'm going to email you to.
Baba Moose. Good boy. Come on.
Okay. I just sent it. Let me know what's up.
Okay. Vamos. Good boy.
Matter of fact, I'm going to send you my phone number so you can text me.
Hey, Betty. Oh, stop it. Oh. So I'm going to go. Am I on yet?
No, I want to wait
Okay.
until I get this message figured out with Purple. But if you guys have any questions for her or anything, let me know.
Come on, please.
Um,
Hi. Hi, Betty. Okay. Let's
I
go.
want to throw up. I'll throw up a video real quick.
Hi. Oh. No, no, no. Don't touch my thing. Don't touch it. No, don't touch my pliers. Oh, hold on. You can get up here with me in a minute. All right. Okay, come on. Come here. Hold on.
Here's Huff talking about the tip that Stacey Wondra gave law enforcement.
Yep.
We are all very emotionally tied to this case, just as our community is. I would say probably the country.
Fruitland Police Chief J.D. Huff spoke with us Sunday afternoon about a credible tip he says led authorities and rescue crews to dig up the backyard of a house in connection with Michael's death. Huff said on Monday that credible tip came from someone inside of the house.
We received a search warrant, and we started excavating the backyard of this residence due to the fact that there's potential for Michael's remains to be in this backyard.
Oh my goodness, what did I say, Callie? You're saying Huff, yes, JD Huff. I'm just sitting here waiting for a message from Purple. And then we're going to continue. I just want to see what she has to say. Okay. I am sorry, you guys. We're just taking a little bit of a pause here. All right. So I'm going to correct something that was said. And that's why I kind of paused, because it has been told to somebody that Sarah walking into the house with someone that could have been Michael is a rumor in Michael Vaughn's case. Now, that doesn't mean that Hotmess is lying to us. She's not. This is just something she was told, just to make that perfectly clear. I was told that I could share that information, but I'm now getting told that BRANDI does not want that information to be shared because it's rumor. So we're just going to call it a rumor and move forward. Thank you so much, Purple, for getting a hold of me, letting me know, because I know you know I do not like having misinformation on the channel at all, and I hate rumors. So that's that. Thank you guys for being here. I want to go through chat. Thank you, Purple, so much. By the way, hi, Callie. Hi, Lady Death. Now you have my phone number, Purple, by the way. You can text me, call me anytime. And let me just see if there's any questions. was the girl who went up on your who was the girl that went up on your panel last time? Don't have a clue. Still trying to find out who that was. Don't have a
Country
clue.
cuz.
Yeah, country cuz. That's all we know. Thank you, Past, for being here. Charlotte's Webbing is here. Thank you for being here. It is so good to see everybody.
But
Yeah,
just to clarify on that real quick, like I said, I don't know how true it was, but when
right.
this person told this to me, he was sent to Fruitland and he did talk to the detectives. So
Okay.
I couldn't let something like that slide. So,
Well, they must have been able to find out or something that it was a rumor or something. So
okay.
we need to correct things if that's what it is. So, I mean, for one, I don't want to piss off Brandy. She didn't like it. And so,
I'm sorry, Brandy. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's not your fault. I was the one who wanted to know more information about it. But all right, we are going to continue. And yeah, just keep talking. We were talking about all of Stacey's girlfriends and stuff, and him selling phones and stuff. So that, or actually, one of his girlfriends selling phones and stuff that he purchased from Verizon so that he could get commentary and stuff while he was in there.
Now on the phones, he did ask me for some boxes and if I had any kind of tape. And this was when we were going on the way, when he called me and asked me if I wanted to go to Oregon and gamble. And I really didn't want to, but Oregon, that's an out-of-state thing. I could do that. But I brought him a couple of boxes and some tape and stuff. There was a couple of phones that he was sending out of state. And he did say he was sending one to Marissa, that she was on his account.
Yeah.
So, and I sent you his voice of him saying that he told me that.
I know. I can't wait to do another live and share recordings and stuff. I can't wait to actually have the time to go through all of them and just see what you sent me. Really,
Just verify everything with LE before we do any of those. So I sent you what I could that didn't have any of the evidence that they used.
Yeah,
So.
I'll be using discretion as I go through those.
Okay.
And you told me that Stacey asked you if you had pain pills.
He did. He asked me, he said his back was hurting so bad from sitting. He asked if I had any pain pills by chance. And I told him I have 2, that I've been saving, and I gave them to him. He took them. But that was when he was living here. So I didn't know he was all this yet.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show, like, some of the stuff you've already shared with us, like doing drugs and you know about it, and that's turned into LE, and then he's trying to get pills from you. He's also going over with you over to Ontario, Oregon to go gambling and drinking.
Yep.
With
and
his own money.
I videoed all that, took pictures. I even took pictures of his bank card when he handed me his bank card and said, go get a hamburger. You need to get out from under the table. Go on.
Nice to see you, Slim. Great to see you here.
Come on.
Yeah, what I found really interesting about the gambling and the drinking and stuff is that you said he showed up with his own money, but here he is using different creators and stuff to collect, get like different gift cards and stuff to buy all kinds of food from all different kinds of places, eating pizza from DoorDash.
Yep.
What else did you say? He was getting
pizza,
Jimmy John, Subway, Panda Express.
Panda Express. Yeah. Oh yeah. He was constantly having food delivered here. So the day that I took him to the bank, we also went to the food bank because he was eating me out of house and home. And when he eats, it is the most disgusting thing. Yeah. Okay. And yeah. I mean, you guys have seen it on Eve's lives when he's eating and just, it's just, he looks like Jabba the Hutt back there,
Wow. Yeah. And it's just he's spending his own money while he's gambling and drinking, but yet he's like getting all these gift cards. He's getting gift cards to go to Walmart to buy clothes. He's getting gift cards for food. He's getting all kinds of everything. And he
he did
also ends
sweet.
up getting this tattoo on himself when he's saying that he's like completely broke, but he gets a huge tattoo during this time too.
Oh, well, also, I sent you the recording also where he's telling me about how he made over $1,000 doing YouTubes, and a lot of that came from when he did what was her name? She put his Cash App up, Sweet Misery. Oh, he was mad. He was cussing me out. He was talking about how he wished I would die because I did that dolly thing. But I think she took it down because now I can't find it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she put his Cash App up on two parts of the screen and everything. And
I remember his Cash App being shared on other creators too.
Yep.
And yeah, he was just taking advantage and manipulating. There's even been rumor or speculation that he was getting paid money to do some of these shows and stuff. And I can't prove any of that. But when you're sitting here telling me about all the different gift cards and cash cards that he had, and he was obviously getting them sent from somewhere.
Yeah, he had this one, he had 2 pizzas and a couple of calzones delivered here the night after he moved in. And I said, "Where'd you get that?" "Oh, a friend of mine, she felt really bad, that I moved in here and I haven't been able to pay you rent yet, so she bought us dinner." And I don't know who that was, but she said, "Oh, she does stuff like this for me all the time. She's awesome." The only thing that I ever saw was Brooks did get him some sandwiches for an interview. And then with me Brooks had told me on the phone, "Hey, let me get your address so that I can send you guys some Omaha steaks." But now I know she was only getting the address to give to LE. So she played him like I did.
Oh, wow.
Stacey thought I was his best buddy. And he still is driving by. He's still honking. He's texting me. He's calling me. My caregiver has talked to him twice in the last week. He will not leave me alone. That's why I started doing the YouTube with you. Because I know you watches
have
your show.
Yeah, that, or you have, talked to law enforcement and let them know that he's like driving by and stuff, right?
Yep, I was there. I called you before I did the interview with you. I let Nampa Police Department know, and then when I dropped a flyer off and hung it in their lobby today, same thing. So I let them know what I was doing tonight and everything, and they suggested that I didn't, but Fruitland didn't tell me not to, and Fruitland's the important police department.
Right.
So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just as long as I don't share anything of evidence or witness stuff that I was able to provide in that 3 months that I was his best buddy.
Right.
Yep.
Wow. And you said Stacey was like always trying to let you know, like, don't worry about it, and was always like trying to tell you, like, I'll pay for this, I'll pay for that, I'll give you cash, don't worry about it. What's that about?
I'll fix the couch, and when he had all this food being delivered because he had no money, I said, "How are you going to pay your half of the rent?" "Oh, don't worry, I can get that. Don't worry about that." He wanted me to help to drive for his taxi service. And at first I thought he wanted me to loan him my vehicle. And I said, "Absolutely not." "Oh, no, you'll be the driving and I'll give you a portion." No, that's wear and tear on my vehicle. And no.
Right. Because that's another question I was going to ask. How is he, he's talking about being broke and everything else, and he's getting this money. But I mean, how was he supposed to pay his rent, his $700 a month?
He told me that he had a job he was supposed to start the next day. Plus he had interviews for Fran's. I think I'm wrong on that one though. The Fran's, I did get corrected on that. I forget what it was. It was some it's on the recording I sent you where he's telling me, hey, after he called me after I did Dolly, and he says, I'm so sorry, please be, please still be my friend. And we were talking about Dolly's show. And he says, and by the way, I didn't tell you I was going to France. I was at such and such place, some title loan, whatever. But they don't need me right now. I sent you that whole recording.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Oh my
Our,
gosh.
our
And
very first phone call after I threw him out, and I was sitting there. I'm so sorry I yelled at you. I should have been more caring and understanding, and blah blah blah. He had no idea that I was watching all these other YouTubes that he did. He had no idea that I was already digging into and letting and calling Fruitland saying, hey, this and that. He did break my couch. There's a picture that Samantha can post of her and those fat ass and fat bitch on my couch with my dog, and they broke the whole front end because this couch used to have another piece to it. It doesn't anymore. I had to take it to the dump. They broke it. Oh, don't worry, I'll replace it. No. A whole lot of he's a whole lot of talk and absolutely no do.
well, yeah, I mean, you even told me that he like destroyed that bedroom. Tell me
Oh,
about
yeah.
that. Tell everyone what that is about. I mean,
I didn't look at the bedroom. All right. So that morning, like I said, I let them stay the rest of the night because she was sick. It was late at night. And I said, first thing in the morning, you're out of here. And I slept with my bedroom door open. My dogs were in with me, and he never once came out. So I don't know if he was peeing in bottles because this man pees like every 20 minutes. I don't know if he was peeing out the bedroom window or what. But the next morning I told him, I knocked on the door and I said, let's go. And I propped open the door that goes into the garage, and I opened the garage door. My truck was already backed up, and he loaded all his stuff in the truck. I didn't get to look at the room. It was it was Marissa, Stacey, and that little dog that she brought. Well, just to let you know, it ended up dying of parvo. A lot of her dogs did on the property, died of parvo within weeks.
oh, wow.
But yeah, that little dog ended up dying, and I would have lost it if my dogs would have gotten it. But when I got back here and I went into that room, there's a rug that I had in there, and it was so stained, and there was soda, food, squished pizza. It looked like he'd stepped on food. The top of my dad's dresser was completely destroyed. There were his spit bottles everywhere.
Oh, yuck.
And a couple days after I threw him out, I found 2 under the couch.
Ugh.
Yeah, he was gross. There was snot rag,
That is disgusting.
spit bottles, stuff where he'd hawk into a tissue, and it was really disgusting.
Oh.
5 days he was in there, and he trashed that room.
Oh my God, did you like put gloves and a face mask on and the whole 9 yards cleaning that shit up or what? That's
I had
disgusting.
my caregiver come over, and actually she was my best friend before that. She came over and helped me clean that room because I was so grossed out. Honest to God, I'm going to tell you that room smelled like dirty sex and fermented panties. It really did. It was disgusting. I had to get rid of the rug, the big, beautiful rug that was in there, everything.
I just don't even understand how he ended up at all with any girlfriends. I mean, he had like 4 or 5 girlfriends or something like that, and just the 4 months that he was out before he goes back to prison.
Each one of these girls said that they never had sex with him. Well, Marissa said, oh God, no way. Brady said, yes, they were sleeping together. Danny has a boyfriend in prison, and she was just trying to help Stacey out because Stacey promised her money. So I don't know if Danny was sleeping with him. Marissa said she wasn't, but Brady said she was. And I was really sick to my stomach trying to think of that.
I just can't even imagine at all, not only the smell, okay, but that that you're having to clean it up. Like, I'm just really one of those really gaggy persons, and like things that gross me out, I'm gonna gag. It's not gonna sit well with my stomach.
Yeah.
And I am just like, oh my God, grossed out right now.
Well,
That is
one of
disgusting.
one of the recordings that I sent you, I had my phone in here recording, and I'm in here talking to Brady, and he says, "Hey, I'm gonna go blow up your bathroom." And I'm like, dude, go in the bathroom and do that. He's like, I'm pretty sure I just shit my pants. And in the bathroom, we're out here in the living room, and he's in the guest bathroom, and her and I are just laughing because all you hear is him farting and it's just, it was so bad. And then when he blew
Oh,
up my bathroom, the smell that came out to the living room. Oh, I had to replace my toilet seat, by the way. He broke the bolts that hold the toilet seat onto the commode. Yeah, he broke my toilet seat.
I mean,
Check it.
all of this, and then can you imagine living in a hotel too? I mean, and that lady's like, you need to get out of here. You stink. You're messing up the room. So I mean, it kind of goes like what we're already hearing about and everything else.
And
So it's
and
just
that's
so gross. And all of the interviews that he does when he's clearing his throat and gagging, and he gets his little, he's spitting in his little cups or bottles, or clearing out his chew from his lip, or oh my gosh, don't even.
you don't, honest to God, I'm going to tell
Oh,
you, I wanted so badly. Now, sometimes I do smoke in my house. I am a smoker. I don't smoke a lot, but oh, and by the way, AV, your comment is up there right now. I forgive you for yelling at me on the Dolly show. I just wanted to let you know. It was an
yeah,
accident.
she felt so bad. She was just really testing you and questioning you and wanting to know things. And so many different people get up here on different channels, and they just want clout and attention, and they start talking and saying things, and nobody ever knows if what they're saying is,
I'm going to
is
tell
this
you.
true or what,
I'm
so
going to tell you,
he felt
after
so
me finding
bad.
out who Stacey was, and then me getting involved with another creator and everything that we did to get him thrown back in jail, I became very avid on getting Michael and Stacey's picture back out there, because my biker community, we had no idea who Stacey was. And we've grown so big in the last couple of years, Idaho and Nampa, Caldwell, Fruitland. There are more people coming in. They have no idea who Michael is. They have no idea who Stacey and them are. And that's why I posted that Craigslist ad. I'm sure you can show that too. I had a friend that called me up the other day and says, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe who just came to my door for the room." And I said, "Who?" And it didn't even click on me that it would be. He goes, "That fat fuck Stacey." So, oh my God. And the messed up part is, where he was looking for a room isn't that far from one of my daughters. And then Brandon and his mother live less than a mile from my other daughter and grandkids.
Oh
No,
God.
I make it my
Yeah.
point to get this out there, because people need to know who they're renting to, because I was an idiot.
Yeah.
And
So if
I'm not a
anybody
dumb person.
that's listening and that is in Boise, Idaho, this is an urgent safety warning that this man, Stacey Wondra, is one out of 4 suspects. The other suspects are Sarah Wondra, Brandon Shirtliff, and Adrian Lucian, but he is one of the 4 that is a suspect in the Michael Vaughan abduction. And he is making promises to share his $80 million
Yep.
that he doesn't have yet from a lawsuit that he filed against Fruitland and police and the state or whatever. That's probably never going to go anywhere, but he's making promises. He's not safe to have around children or your pets. He suffers from a disorder, explosive disorder, intermittent explosive disorder, which I talked about before. It's
Yep.
he's a very violent criminal. So you guys beware. Do not be letting this man move in with you. And I also want to throw up here,
Hi. Oh my goodness.
this is Michael Vaughan. He disappeared on July 27th, 2021. He was abducted by these 4 suspects. The pictures there on the left of this flyer: Sarah Wondra, Stacey Wondra, Brandon Shirtliff, and Adrian Lucian. The new age progression picture came out over the summer. And if you have any information about the suspects, what they may, or whatever they might have done or told you, if you have anything regarding Michael Vaughan's case or abduction, please call the Fruitland Police tip line at 208-642-6006. You can also get a hold of Find Michael at fruitland.org to give tips. They will get back to you. I've actually used that tip line myself. I've received emails. Sometimes it does take some time, as they do get in lots of tips about Michael's case. Any tip is never too small. You could be sitting there holding something in that you've known since Michael's came up missing, and you want to talk so bad, but you're scared. You can call in anonymous. You can give your tip, even if you're scared. Let them know when you get a hold of them that you're scared or whatever. But your tip is what's important to bring Michael home, to bring him justice, to bring his family peace. And again, I want to remind everybody at the top, there is a pin section for the Vaughn's holiday
Wish list. Yep.
So if you guys want to buy anything for the family, the kids for Christmas, you can purchase gift cards there on Amazon that are available either for the teenagers or maybe even just to help the household out. Brandi's not working. She's sick. She has came out and she has asked us as creators to come out and talk about Michael, talk about his case, bring more awareness, share his flyers on social media, anywhere. If you live in Fruitland or in that area and you want to go hang out flyers, go hang out flyers. I'm sure somebody can either put you in contact with someone that can get you flyers. Unfortunately, Kaylia doesn't work where she was working before, where we used to be able to get like free flyers and stuff. I don't know if she's still able to do that anymore, but she was able to put out, free flyers and stuff. We just don't have access to do that anymore. But you can print out even, take $5, go get 5, go hang him up in the area where he came up missing. Or if you know areas where suspects live, pass them around there. Nobody really has a lot of information about Adrian Lucian, where he's at, what he's doing, who he's talking to. So if you have any information about Adrian Lucian, get a hold of Fruitland Police. Again, the tip line number is 208-642-6006. I want to take a moment just to pray for Michael and the family. Let me get over here and I want to throw this little clip up real quick. And then Just one more clip that I have that I want to show you real quick. The community really got involved when Michael came up missing. They really came together for the family. Fruitland police are amazing. BRANDI says all of the time they're like family. BRANDI and Tyler are always communicating, either going down to the police station or talking to police on the phone. And they're like family, and they consider Michael as family. And they did an amazing job out there to search for Michael. So I want to show a search clip that I put together. You know, BRANDI NEAL Vaughan, one of the strongest moms I've ever seen in my life. She's the reason I agreed after watching her on a news broadcast to take on Michael's case and advocate for him. She's never stopped. The family, the community, the police have never stopped advocating and putting out awareness for Michael. And that's one of the reasons, like, we are so thankful to have you here, Hotmess, because I know that you are advocating and doing your best, you know, to do what you can do to help find Michael. And we all really appreciate you being here, coming up again, and you know, talking about everything that you endured living with Stacey Wondra. But I know BRANDI appreciates it too, that you and your bravery, you know, to come out and talk. We know that it's difficult. Stacey Wondra is coming over to your house. He's driving through your cul-de-sac. He's honking.
I am not afraid of Stacey Wondra. I bring it on. I wish he would. Therefore, he'd be back in prison. So I really wish. And doing this YouTube because of how mad he is, and having awareness, if anything does happen to me, they'll know it's him. So I'm locked and loaded, ready, pew pew, already.
You know, and just that saying too, like, Stacey Wondra comes in and he moves in over there at your house, and he's not even supposed to be around anybody with guns or around guns or anything else. So there's just another parole violation on top of all of his other 17 to 20 parole violations for doing drugs and not checking in and doing everything he was supposed to be doing to, you know, during that time. And then you endure 3 more months after he moves out trying to befriend him and be nice and put up with his stuff, because we do know that when Stacey Wondra gets a hold of somebody and their phone number, or gets a friend, that he blows them up, wants to talk to him all the time, is asking for so many favors and everything else. So yeah, it's all much appreciated.
He's a scumbag. You know, he's a narcissistic sociopath. He's a scumbag. He can sit there on all these lives and, you know, like he did on the Channel 7 news. I'm just here to clear my name. And the lady directly asked him, so how did the police end up questioning you? He says, I have no idea. Bull. He told me flat out, face to face. I said, how did the cops even know to come to you? He says, I called them. I called them from prison and told them that I had information. So him saying, I have no idea, he's a liar. He told me flat out. And it was several times I asked him that. I said, why would you call? He says, because I'm pretty sure that, you know, I said, what about him being in your backyard? Well, yes, I did tell them that. Was he in your backyard? He says, as far as I knew. I said, well, they hit on the backyard, and the dogs did, from 4 different states at different days. So it's not like they went one by one and copied each other seeing. No, it was different days, different states, dogs that hit in the same spot. You know, he's a liar. He's very good at making somebody believe his lies. He's a piece of work. I would love for him to come on here and try to defend himself so that others could ask him questions. I mean, you are the one creator that has no drama. You don't twist anything. You go by facts and what can be proven in black and white, video, everything. So I really wish you would come on here and do your show.
Yeah, I would have him up if he wanted to come up and talk about anything. Let me see here. I'm checking everything. A lot of people are just like, you're amazing, and thanking you for coming up. And yeah, like I said, we really appreciate you here. Kelly Dime says he's the only POS that I've ever heard that would be able to tell Ellie that there's a body of a missing child in his backyard, and when they go there and don't find anything, nothing happens to him. Yeah, I can't believe it. Not only does
Because the body was moved, and they know.
well, not only did he not get in trouble for anything, it wasn't very long after that, like a couple of weeks or a week or so after that, he's let out of prison. To me, I feel like that's almost like a tactic by law enforcement. Like, he put out the tip, the body wasn't there, we're not going to be able to do anything, give him any time off or anything. Let's just release him out there. Let's just watch him, see what he does. Where does he go? And this is just me kind of speculating, because I get so irritated with the fact that they, right afterwards, let him go. He gives you a tip.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be out. He wasn't supposed to be out until November of this year. And they let him out. And it more than likely it was a tactic, you know, but when they couldn't get anything and the body wasn't there and he didn't go to where they thought he was going to go or talk to the people he thought he was going to talk to, I did my job. I did what I was asked to do. I befriended him, and I gathered every piece of evidence that put him back in jail. His drug test, everything.
He goes around and says that it's a false confession. And, you know, Fruitland says they have been able to prove that he was once buried there and moved. So how did you give a false tip? How did you give a false confession when that's what JD Huff has put out there?
It wasn't just a false confession. He's the one that called from the federal prison a year after, when Fruitland had nothing. They had no leads, no witnesses, no evidence. They had nothing until they got a phone call. Hey, I'm Stacey Wondra. I'm calling from the prison, and I have information on Michael Vaughan. Thank God he did. Thank God he did. Because it has got the ball rolling.
He was incarcerated when he gave that tip. And yeah, Kelly, I'm shocked too. I am shocked that he even got out of prison when he did. I was actually really hoping that the DA would follow through with something, indictments would come out on them or something before he was released. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't even been out a whole month.
So I'm going to tell you, and this is, I mean, everybody out here that's listening will understand. So law enforcement does have more than likely enough to indict right now, except there are small holes in what they have. So in order to make it airtight to where, not the plaintiff, airtight to where the defense can't tear it apart, they need to fill those holes to make it so airtight that his attorneys won't be able to tear it apart and get him out of it. And that's what Ellie is doing. That's what any police department tries their damnedest to do. But in this case, that's what Fruitland is doing. They're putting all there's still pieces of the puzzle that are missing to fit certain things, but they have evidence. They have Everybody knows this, you know, and
Right.
JD Huff has even said it on the interviews. We have credible information that that Michael was buried in the backyard. Well, I'll tell you what, Stacey, you are such an awesome person, and I'd really like to give you a place to stay. I have a really nice room for you in the backyard next to my shed under my barbecue. You, ooh, ooh. I might not be able. Brandy is too much of a lady, and she is very much a lady. She is too much of a lady to say the things that she wants to say because she has to advocate for Michael. She has to be strong for Blue, Bubba, and Buggy, you know, for Tyler, for her dad. She is the rock of that family. So she can't say what she wants. She can't scream without, but I can. I can. I am a
Yeah.
parent. Yeah.
Even like Kelly Dime says, you know, he's been missing a little bit over 3 years. I advocate for another child that's been missing 14 years. Cases just don't, we want it to happen. We want it to happen quickly. We want cases to be open, closed cases, but sometimes it just doesn't work that way. And if they don't find out, you know, everything they need to and go after the suspects with all 4 barrels and, you know, find as much information as they possibly can. And on top of that, it's not really even up to them either. They've already passed information over to the DA. So the DA needs to make the damn decision to move forward too. It's up to them to move forward in this case. And unfortunately, still waiting, but that's all right. You know, we know that Fruitland Police is on top of it and they're going to do everything they can. I believe there will come a day when Michael gets justice and the family gets the peace that they need. Cinnamon Hot here says that Brandy is amazing in protecting the integrity of the case. Yeah, and she's not ranting and raving publicly anyway, because we all know, like Chris Madonna said, you know, let's put Brandy in a room with these suspects and see what happens. She's a little badass, and
Oh
yeah.
God, she couldn't handle that. Oh my God, right now she could. But you know, and it's just like a couple of weeks ago on our local news here in Idaho, Ted Bundy had admitted to killing a certain little girl. They finally found her remains 2 weeks ago. It will happen. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
and
only a matter of time.
we just have to keep people aware of what to look for. So, and in this, I mean, I, like I said the other day, I can't imagine what she's going through. I mean, I know what it's like to go through, you know, an ex-husband hiding your kids from you for a little while. But this, what Brandy's going through, I could only fear to know what she's going through. I could never, ever. I mean, and
Psychosocial, thank you for being here. Nice to see you. Cinnamon Hot. Thank you, Lady K, for coming in. We've got so many people here. Everybody has been so interested, you know, since you came up on the last live. I've been literally blown up since you were on here, and there were so many people, like I said, that wanted to hear you talk. So we really appreciate you coming forward and talking about everything. You go over to Tina Reels and put flyer. That is Brandon Shirtlift's mom.
I
And
did
you go
this
over
morning.
there. I know. And I don't know why it cracks me up. She's always trying to protect her son. And I think she needs to come forward and talk to law enforcement. And I love that you do that. It just tickles me pink. So Tina, go talk to law enforcement. If you know anything, let them know what it is that you're doing.
This is usually the poster that I put up on her mailbox. And it's the one that the National Center for Exploited and Missing Children. But I put this one today with all the suspects on it. I don't think she was happy because I went and did a couple things in Cuna And when I drove back by, the poster was gone.
Yep, that seems to happen. These
And I
I've
had a message for
experienced it.
Brandon. I got a message for Brandon with all the evidence that people are coming forward with. You know, Stacey was given a deal and he didn't take it. Well, he couldn't get the deal because they said Michael was in the backyard, and Michael ended up not being there. So Stacey didn't get that deal. That deal is still on the table, and the first one to come forward with the information about Michael is going to get that deal. And nobody is saying that Stacey, Sarah, Adrian, or Brandon did something. Everybody is saying they know something.
Right.
You know, come on here, Brandon, feel free to call, because I'll tell you what, I will start posting these on your mom's mailbox and her front door daily. Just come here on the show. You know this lady doesn't have drama or lies. Come on here and tell your side of the story, because Stacey has already come on here and said, "Oh, I'm pretty sure that Brandon and Adrian did it." And then I didn't think Brandon or Sarah could do something like this, but it's possible. It's always possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has said those on camera.
I have a couple questions for you. So Callie Dime says, are there any billboards by your house that are available?
There are many billboards, which would be nice, because when I did that whole drive through Fruitland, every street corner, every pole, Michael is everywhere. You come out of Fruitland, you don't see anything of Michael anywhere. So it would be nice to get a billboard up or something. I'm doing the best I can with the flyers, but I'm only one person.
Right. So the Barbin AZ is asking if there's any way you could talk to any of the neighbors in the neighborhood and find out if they're willing to put any posters or flyers, or, like you have your yard thing, in the yard. Maybe someone in the neighborhood would be interested in doing that near Tina's house.
I talked to a couple of neighbors when the creator that I work with asked me to go over there and take video and pictures and stuff. And there were several neighbors that came out and asked what I was doing. And I asked if I could hang a flyer, and they said they want nothing to do with it. They said which I thought was odd, but I guess the police being there and the dogs, that 11 squad cars and everything, people over there don't want to get involved. They're a very quiet, large neighborhood. So,
well, and that happens sometimes, especially, I don't know. A lot of people do know about Stacey Wondra and that he is a violent criminal. I mean, he's coming by your house. Some people just may be scared because Brandon visits his mom. Suspects do go to that area, so that could be a reason why. Callie Dime saying that a few neighborhood signs for their front yard, possibly. That's what I was thinking, but you know what? If they're in the neighborhood, they probably are just going to get taken down. I've experienced that with my own advocating for Kyron before. And you know what is really strange? I've actually put up flyers in places and in communities, and they just don't like looking at flyers like that. And they do. I've went and drove right back, not even near where, the child came up missing, or even near one of the suspects' places or anything. And I've gone back moments later and the flyer's already taken down, wadded up, and thrown down on the ground. Our communities need to, and I know Fruitland, and I know people have gotten together and advocated for Michael, and it's great, and he's brought in a lot of awareness, but with other cases, and we need to try to find a way to bring more awareness right now, especially since Brandi's asking us to. So like I said earlier, if anybody's in the area, post up the flyers. But social media, that's going to get around faster than anything. So if you're in Idaho, if you're in Fruitland, or if you know of missing pages that you can be posting up on social media or sharing on your own social media, do it. And if you really want, and you really want to advocate, do it every day. Or do it as much as you think about it, or as much as you possibly can, because that is what has to happen to not only get that algorithm going of Facebook or whatever social media you're using to get that out there. You know, people will start sharing it. Remember, when you share things like this too, you want to make sure that your post is public, that it isn't private and only going out to your friends. Put it up public so that it can be shared by people. And if you really want to advocate even more, make a reel out of it and put it up, because that will share publicly all over, you know, whatever social media site you're using.
You know, I can go ahead and now I've not put any on polls over there. I can go put a couple over there and see if they last more than a day.
Or
So,
even in the neighborhood, like a park nearby, or
yep.
like a block away on a sign or something. Anything you want to do. You live around there and in that area.
Yep.
I would love to help you do that sometime, but
I
yeah,
told you, come on over. I'll give you a place to stay while you're here.
I know handcuffs need to be put on these suspects and stuff, because if it doesn't happen soon, I'll be coming to Fruitland to take some videos just so I have more content to put up for Michael here on the
Yeah,
show.
and then you'll be able to see what I described to you the other night. Everything is a whole lot closer than it, you know, Stacy's house is not even a 5-minute walk from Michael's. And I'm disabled and I can walk it in less than 5 minutes. You know, it's
And
the map,
oh,
the
I'm
aerial
sorry.
map look, that's okay. The aerial map makes everything look like Stacy lives like blocks and blocks and blocks away. No, he doesn't. So
Yeah. I shared a link with you for the Michael Vaughan Case Revisited group on Facebook. Could you share the link to that group, please? There are flyers there, and any information that I put out on Michael on my lives, if I'm sharing videos or court documents or anything, I put it all in my Michael Vaughan Case Revisited group. So if you're interested in flyers, you can go over there. You can also go over to the other Facebook group. I am right now having a little bit of a brain fart. What's the name? Let me look real quick. All right.
what are you looking for, Sammy?
It's a Facebook group that has been advocating Lana. I don't know if she runs it, if she's the admin or not, but Lana is there, and she's been involved in this since the very beginning.
It's
And
Monkey's Missing Child Project.
yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Monkeys Missing. Why isn't it showing up? I am trying to grab the link from that group. Hold on.
And there's also lots of flyers on BRANDI's site. You can see her stuff, but she only has the one friend on there, so you can't post on her page or anything, but you can get the posters.
I'm trying to get in here into my groups, and then the groups aren't even wanting to show except for my groups. Why is that?
Go on mine, and it should be the posters that I put on my Facebook. You should be able to click on Monkey's Missing Project. Yeah, there's a lot of sites that have his stuff.
There is.
But
and
people don't know it because nobody's sharing it. You know, this is a huge case that nobody knows about. And then once they do find out about it, they're like, oh my gosh, that's right up the street. Or, oh my gosh, my kids go to the school where that guy's house, right by where that guy's house is.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys are out there around our children. I'm not saying that they're the ones that did, but they know. Okay, yes, I am. I'm not gonna lie.
So the link that Yaya just threw up, that is for my Facebook group. I am currently still trying to find the other Facebook group for Michael. Oh, well, that's why I can't find it. Okay, never mind. I'm switching accounts right now. I have my Pacific Northwest account for my YouTube channel where I have my own page, and I'm on that instead of my regular profile for my Facebook, and that's where I find all my other stuff in my feed. So I was in the wrong place, forgive me.
Now you sound like me.
Yeah. Okay, I'm here, and now I want to share. How do I do that? Let's share. Share. Share group. Copy link. I think I got it, people. Think I got it. I really want to share.
You guys could also do what I do and tape the flyers to the back of your vehicle. Then everybody can see them. Parking lots, you're in the grocery store, people have to walk by your vehicle.
Yeah. And then, of course, Yaya. My mods are amazing. I'm just going to say. She got it. She got it up there. Thank you so much.
Did Yaya find it?
Yeah.
By the way, hi, Purple. Purple can finally put a face to the funny person that's always been coming on her stuff.
I know. I just noticed that too, Yaya. It's okay. I noticed the thing. So I just got done posting the other Michael Vaughan group, the Missing Project of Idaho. So that's there now. You can join any of those groups, but a lot of the flyers are going to be in that Michael Idaho group. So click that link if you're really looking for some flyers. I know Wendy, she does an amazing job making flyers for Michael, for Kyron, several other kids. And yeah, they are beautiful, beautiful flyers.
And that's another one. I mean, Kyron has been missing quite a long time, and you advocate for him because he's in your area. Just like I advocate for Michael because, he's in my area. This is close to home.
Yeah, it really does hit close to home when they come up missing near you. Back to some questions and stuff here. I know we're kind of like just talking and BSing a little bit, but you said that you had also had conversations with Stacey about like his fishing areas and camping areas and stuff.
Did we want to discuss that one area?
No, we've been asked not to discuss that one area, but I know you said like one of his camping areas was in Montana.
Yeah, he has a couple of private land camping areas in Montana. So we went through and found out areas that he lived and people that he hung with. And oh yeah, Fruitland did the same thing. They found Fruitland PD found quite a bit. Because I told him one day, he was telling me I can't be around guns. I said, oh, he goes, we just can't tell my PO that I have guns. I said, all right, then I'm not going to take you hunting with me in Montana. And he goes, oh, no, I can take you to some private lands that I go to over there, for hunting. And I don't even have to have a license. He was mentioning Montana, Oregon, some private land somewhere else. And it made me think of the drive he took after Michael came up missing, the drive he took to supposedly rescue a dog in Texas.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I just don't know anybody that would drive across the country in a car to go pick up or drop off, what was it? Pick up a dog for somebody. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That trip is a little suspicious to me. Lots of people have gone over that trip and speculated, and there's been
Yeah.
many rumors started from, their trip down there to Texas and stuff. But I can say one thing, Sarah Wondra did not like being out of town or breaking down, and went into complete and total meltdown
Meltdown.
on her TikTok about being stuck in the mud
I'll
on a
tell you
dark road.
another thing that I looked at, and I wrote it all down. I have a whole, this thing up here has my notebooks and stuff in it. And Sarah Wondra, she would post on her TikTok maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, maybe every other month. But 2 days after Michael's disappearance, she started posting and crying, I hope God forgives me, and for hours. TikTok after TikTok during the day. And she did it all the way up until she was incarcerated,
Yeah.
asking
She was
God to forgive her for what she did and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, her TikTok exploded with her constantly, every day, couple times a day, 2 days after Michael's disappearance.
Do you know about pictures that were on Stacey's phone?
I do not. I did hear, let's see, I think, I don't remember who it was. He was on one of the sites, using his, he was showing a screen roll of his photos, and I had him
Oh, yeah.
convinced that they tapped into his phone. I called him up crying, oh, my daughter, my kids, everybody, they hurt, someone contacted my kids, and he's like, Kelly, I'm so sorry. And then he started yelling at Brooks, telling Brooks, you guys all got in you tapped my phone. No, they didn't. I cried and whined, and I had him
Oh my
totally
God.
convinced.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
You did a good job getting information from him, that's for sure.
I
Brooks
played
did a
the
good
dumbass.
job. Brooks did a good job getting information from him. And something else I just remembered too, when I was asking you earlier, like who you heard him talking on the phone to and stuff, you had told me a story about um, recognizing Brandon's voice on JLR when you heard that interview, and that you thought that maybe you had heard Stacey talking to Brandon also while he was living with you.
Yes, now Stacey talked to Sarah 2, 3, 4 times a day, and she was always in a meltdown. So he'd have to go out front and yell and pace to talk to her. But it wasn't until I heard JLR's interview with Brandon in the hot tub that Stacey would be sitting here on the couch, and his phone would ring, and he would jump on speaker and just start talking, no matter who was in the room, no matter if I was watching a movie or if I had the nurse over here. He's very rude with his phone. And I didn't see a face and I didn't see a name, but after seeing JLR's interview with Brandon, that's the voice that was coming from his phone in my house.
Yeah,
What are you doing, brother? What are you doing, brother? Oh, I'm just sitting here with my new roommate. You're on speaker. He always made a point to say, you're on speaker so everyone can hear you. And that right there sounded like a signal to me for Brandon to not say anything. Like I said, I can't say for sure it was Brandon. Exact same voice, exact same twang. Yeah.
Yeah. His voice is kind of like,
I
you
know it
can't miss
was.
it once you hear it, right?
Yep.
Cinnamon hot, hot, hot. She's saying that she's confused a little bit. Why did you tell Stacey that he was hacked?
Because I wanted him to trust me. After I told him that somebody had hacked your phone and was calling me, it's because I gave all of Stacey's information to a certain creator, and that creator started making phone calls.
Yeah, it was just kind of like a tactic.
Mhm.
And Stacey thought that, when creators ended up getting a hold of the pictures and stuff on his phone and everything else, and even now he's been shouting out that his phone's been hacked. I mean, it's a
I
thing.
didn't want
So,
him to put two and two together and know that it was me giving out his number to a creator and to the PO and Fruitland and all this. I didn't want him to know it was me because I still had to play him and be his friend. So I called and told him that some people called me and now they called my family. They must have they tapped your phone. So I had to get his speculation off of me so that he would still think, oh, I'm still the wounded person that's suffering through him.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. You did a damn good job, you know. That's all I
I
gotta say. Just
I'll tell you, I should get an
I don't know how
Academy
you did it.
Award. Every time I
I
talked to that creator when I'd get home, I would say, I feel dirty. I need to take a shower. I'll call you back. I feel dirty. Just
Yeah.
going around him. There was one phone call that I sent you. I'm here in my living room and he called me up and he's telling me, "What are you doing, you sexy friend?" I said, "Oh, you give me a big head." And he's like, "Well, you are sexy." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. I'm huge." No, he was telling me, "You got a hot ass." Boy, the dirty, disgusting things that he said on that, and I sent it to you.
Oh
It
my gosh, I don't even know if I wanna listen to it. He's
Yeah,
so
but
gross.
that right there shows how twisted he is, and he starts
Yeah.
talking about, "Man, I had such a crush on the Olsen twins on that when they first started doing that, uh, that Full House show." I'm like, "Wait a minute. They were like 5 years old. How old were you?" He says, "Oh, I was like 9, but they were hot." And he was talking about what he would do to them. I sent you the
Oh my
recording.
god. Oh,
It's
yuck.
disgusting. It is
I'm
disgusting.
not I'm not gonna tell you that I'm really excited to listen to that particular recording, but you know what? There's a lot of information we've talked about over the last couple of days and a lot of information that you've been sharing with me, and we're just gonna keep, talking about things and putting information and stuff out there. And
I
right
just
now,
want him to
that's
come on
all
here
we
and
can do.
contradict me
Yeah,
really bad. I want
come
him
on
to
up,
come on here
Stacey.
and contradict me because Stacy's watching after the other night, and Brandon's watching, and I would just love I will even go off screen, Stacy, if you'll call in and talk to this lady, answer some questions. I'm the one that's against you, not her.
Well,
I'm the one
I
that's
don't even
against
need
you.
him. I don't even need to, ask him any questions. He can just come up and say whatever he wants to. I'm willing to put up my platform for him to talk. And, if he feels like he needs to defend himself or say something, he's more than welcome. You know, anybody's more than welcome to come up and talk if you know any of the suspects or anything. We are trying to bring awareness for Michael Monkey Vaughan coming, missing from Fruitland, Idaho, July 27th of 2021. If you have any information on the suspects or Michael's abduction, please call Fruitland Police Department's tip line at 208-642-6006. The name of the suspects are Sarah Wondra, Stacey Wondra, Adrian Lucian, and Brandon, hello, shirtless, and Adrian Lucian. Thank you for correcting me. No tip is too small. Please call in. I'm going to throw up the Fruitin phone number for a few minutes and let that ride out. What else was I going to ask you? There was something else I wanted to ask you. And it was just something that popped into my head a few minutes ago, but now I can't remember.
See, that's our age. Isn't it
It
terrible?
must be.
I know I can sing the words to every 70s and 80s songs, but I can't remember why the heck I walked in the friggin' kitchen. God.
Oh, goodness.
And it's just
So,
stupid little stuff. I have to document everything. That's why I have all these recording devices, because I forget stuff.
Does anybody in chat have any questions for Hotmess? Let's do a Q&A, and now the questions are going to come from chat. If you have anything you want to ask her, now would be the time to do it. I can just focus on it. I've asked all the questions that I have had planned out. Do you have anything else written down, Hotmess, that you feel like you want to share, or that we haven't gone over that I haven't asked you about or anything?
You know, I left my notebook in the truck, but I have a notebook of each thing from Dolly and from Eve, or not. Oh God, I can't believe I said that. But I really can't remember. But it's just like after the other show, you and I got to talking afterwards, and it triggered stuff, and then I had to go back under my recordings,
Right.
But
So,
we had. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, Callie has a question. So we are getting questions coming in. Callie wants to know, does Stacey ever have contact with any other creators on YouTube?
At this time, I don't know. I haven't found anything. But
What
it could
about when
also.
he lived with you?
I'm sorry?
What about when he lived with you?
Yes, Brooks and Dolly. So remember I said that, he was on the phone going, "Hey, this Brooks, this is my friend." It ended up being that Brooks, and I didn't know that then.
Yeah, actually, you described to me, like, in some of the lives on Brooks or on other creators, he was doing the lives from inside of the house, because you told me about, like, the color of the curtains or, like, the window behind him and stuff. Those were all from your house.
Yeah, there's one where he was laying, I think he had a blue shirt on. But you see a brown curtain right behind him right here. That was right here in my living room. It was actually that curtain right there. And then the one where he was sitting in a lighted room with a little square window behind him with 12 by 12 squares. I sent you that also. Yeah. I sent you the video of the room he rented from me, and you can see that's the window he's sitting in front of.
Lady K, I'm not sure if anybody's ever wrote Sarah any letters or talked to her or anything. I'm not sure about that at all. Yeah. Another question Carla has, did Stacey react to in any way when the news was on about Michael? Was there ever a time, like in your house or anything, the news was on and something popped up about Michael that maybe he reacted to?
No, I had no, like I said, I'm on disability, so I live extremely cheap, and all I have here is I have a PlayStation right there that I use for DVDs, and I have a ton of DVDs, and I have like 12 more U-Haul boxes full outside. I didn't have television.
Yeah. She didn't have television. She had no access or nothing. That's why she didn't know when she met up with Stacey that he was a suspect in Michael's case, even though she was familiar with his abduction.
No. But I do now. I have my new roommate. She's at work. She has internet turned on. We bought antennas for all the TVs, and so I get local channels and everything now. And I keep really up to date on the Channel 7 news ever since Stacey was here.
Yaya has a question. Did he ever falter in things he said that made you think this guy's guilty?
The way he did like the interview that he did for the news, and then the interviews he was doing with Dolly and Brooks. When I question him on that, I would be his friend and I'd tell him, "Dude, you got to stop doing that because you're saying this, you're saying that." He's like, "I know, I just never know what to say." I said, "You say the truth. You shouldn't have to make anything up." He goes, "Yeah, but nobody believes the truth. If you're telling the truth, if you're telling the truth on all these, why are you saying to me, but nobody believes the truth? So why is it that Yeah, it's like me sitting here with you. I don't have to write anything down. I'm
Yeah.
telling what I've seen and heard, telling it exactly that way without exaggeration. Therefore, I don't have to make notes. He whenever I asked him, "Did you do this?" and I sent you this recording also, I said, "Did you have anything to do with Michael?" No. But a week before, I'm on the phone with him and he says that he's the one that called LE from the prison to come talk to him because he had information. So I asked him about that. I said, "Why did you tell a lie to LE that he was in the backyard?" "Because they just showed up and they were interrogating me for 3 days." And okay, and you told him he was buried in the backyard, but they wouldn't have come to interrogate you if you're not the one that got a hold of them from prison and said, "Come talk to me. I have information." So all of this is just,
Well,
it's
he's
one
such a
big
liar
lie.
that you don't even know what to believe anyway. I mean, he's caught on so many lies on all of the shows that he did. I mean, everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie.
He
So
contradicted himself all over. Am I allowed to be bad on here and smoke a cigarette?
you can do whatever you want over there. That's you.
I did.
That
Today I bought a pack of cigarettes and I'm not supposed to be, but I was so mad that all these people everywhere I went today, nobody knew who Michael was or the suspects or anything. And I actually was really getting mad. I was crying in my truck and I bought
I
a pack of cigarettes.
boo. Well, maybe you shouldn't, and I'm not going to give you permission to smoke then. If you're not supposed to be smoking, you have health issues, right? You can really do what you want to do. I'm just teasing you, but you are, you've got some health stuff going on. Maybe you should just throw that away. And I'm only saying that because I really like you, gal. So, I
I
do have
love
a
you.
we got along so well on the phone and just talked so long. It really was like I've known you forever. Callie, I have a question. I see you've said this so many times before, which is interesting timing if he really called them. I want to know what you're talking about. I want to know why you find that so the interesting timing if he really called. Um I
I
just
made up
want
a
your
lie
take
to
on it.
him.
'Cause I respect what you say, Callie. So I wanna know, Callie, why you think that's so interesting.
Who,
And
me?
well, no, Callie's saying that she thinks that it's really interesting timing that around that time is when um Stacey called law enforcement to have them come in so he could give them that tip. So I'm just kind of picking at her brain. She's
Yeah.
really close to Brandy. She may not even be able to tell me. I just love Callie to death. And, Yaya's agreeing with her too. I just like hearing what other people have to say. So maybe it clicks something in my brain that I feel like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was always trying to get different ways of getting him to talk about Michael. Um, and in this particular phone call, and I did send it to you, and I titled it, Stacey admitting he called law enforcement from prison. That's what I entitled it when I sent it to you yesterday.
Okay.
Um, it I was talking to him about uh because he stopped watching YouTubes because he was so mad at Brooks. And I called him up and I said, "Oh my God, they're saying that Brandon is the one that was in the house and called in a tip, and that's why they went to your house. That's why they went to see you in prison." He goes, "No, I called LE. That's not Brandon. That's me. I called law enforcement from prison and had them come see me." So
And yeah, Kelly Dime saying she just wants to know from him, why did he call law enforcement at that time? Now
right,
I
what
understand what you're saying. Like, what prompted you, Stacy, to make the call at that time and turn the tip in at that time?
and I have the date on him telling me, and what I don't know what the date is on his calling in a tip, because I wanted to look at the timelines of what evidence they found, possibly, or what they had said to Brandon. So something happened in that timeline for him to call them to put the blame on himself. So
Yeah,
who is he protecting? Is he
exactly.
protecting Sarah,
Well,
Brandon, Adrian? Has Adrian threatened him to the point, if you say anything, I'll kill you? I mean,
well, as far as him blabbing on Crime Lines and Lies and getting mad the other day at her, what she posted up and what everybody was able to listen to, he's saying, I'll protect Sarah and I'll protect Brandon. And that's new. Why is he protecting them all of a sudden?
he was
And,
throwing him under the bus,
you
6 months
know,
ago.
then his friend comes up on my channel Thursday night and she's trying to get me to talk about, Adrian Lucian and, pulls up Stacey and you see his face on the show and we're all just sitting here like, what is she talking about? And why is he all of a sudden trying to throw Adrian under the bus? That's what's strange to me. Why is he protecting them? Why is he all of a sudden throwing Adrian under the bus? He was so quick to throw them under the bus before what's changed.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
sat here on my couch. It was before he brought that Brady girl over. He's sitting here at the house, and I was like, well, what if Brandon and Sarah and Adrian did it? She go, oh, I know Brandon and Sarah had something to do with it. I know they did. Okay, well, what? I said, tell them what you know. He goes, I can't. The body wasn't there. He was counting on that deal and counting on everything that he knew. He knew where Michael was buried. But when he called the police down, I think he was wanting that deal. And when he called the police to come to see him in prison, and then they went to the house, the body was gone. The decomp was there for the dogs to hit on, but the body was gone. So now he's making up lies because he doesn't know what to say. That's what I think.
Thank you, Yaya. I did. I tried to keep my cool because I am a cool cat. I want people to be able to come on the channel and feel comfortable and talk. And that's why, my channel will always be open to anybody that wants to talk about things. I just put up a link too. If you guys want to join and become a member, click that link, become a PNW Whisperer. Give me a thumbs up over there. And yeah, I mean, there isn't any more questions in chat. I've gone through my questions. You've gone through yours. This has been a great live. I was so happy to have you join. I know so many other people were wanting to see you come up and talk more. And Hotmess is going to be coming back, you guys. We've got a lot more to show. It'd be somewhere throughout the week where we haven't made plans on what days or whatever, because Hotmess has some radiation treatments to start this week. And we want to send our prayers to you for, a fast healing recovery and just, that everything in your health gets better. And, I know you don't feel good. I know you're sick, and you're here and you're advocating. And yeah, we appreciate you being here with everything you're going through right now.
I apologize for sounding so, gun ho or angry or whatever, but it really did make me mad. Every time I put flyers at businesses or I hand them out, it does make me mad that people don't know who he is. It really, really does. You live here. You should know. I should have known. Even though I was stupid and I didn't know, it still makes me mad that nobody knows.
Yeah. I agree, Kelly. Stacey tried to say that Adrian never came back to the house that night. Now all of a sudden, some woman named Country Cuz is on here last week on Thursday saying that Adrian was there the whole night. So which is it? And where's she getting this information? Where did Stacey tell her this information? She was talking about having a recording. She was talking about turning things into law enforcement, which I really hope that she did. I hope she will come back here and talk some more. You know, if that's what she wants to do, she can come on. Country Cuds, if you're listening, you can come back. Let me know.
I
Yeah.
went over all the comments and stuff this morning because I hadn't re-looked at the live, and I cannot bring up Country Cuz on anything. She blocked me.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I can't see any of her comments. I hear people answering her on comments and asking her questions, but yep, I've got nothing. But yeah, she stood there and said, I have video proof that he was at that house all day.
You guys are
Yeah.
amazing. I love my YouTube channel family and friends. Thank you guys.
I can't
so
see
much.
any of it. I can just see you and I.
Oh, everybody's just thanking you, thanking me, you know, for doing the show and stuff. People are sending you prayers, and hoping for a speedy recovery with your treatments.
Hi,
Let's see.
Connie.
And then we've got Barbin AZ saying, I said years ago in the comment that I thought Adrian was back at the house being a lookout till the search died down. And that's a good assumption. Could be. Who knows?
But we
You know,
just don't know. We have no facts.
We're not privy to the information. Connie's saying, no, you're not stupid. Yeah, he changed his story again. Yes, it's another changed story. Cinnamon hot is saying to you, radiation treatment, what I thought you were just offering to be a liver transplant.
Yes, and I already sent Brandy a message on that. So we're not going to be doing chemo. The salivary gland has gone malignant, but my PET scan shows nothing from head to knees. Organs are completely clear. So I have no mets anywhere else in my body. It's not in the blood, the marrow, nothing, skin or organs. It is localized. That's why we're doing radiation to shrink the edges and then removing it on January 27th. I am still, the doctor said I am still good to go if I want to donate marrow, blood, organ, anything.
Yeah, which she has donated before. So
yeah.
her marrow and stuff. So that's something she's taking up with her doctor and with BRANDI. So yeah, everybody's sending you prayers. You know, that's not hard, and we know you're not going to feel good, so we'll all be thinking about you throughout the week this week, and we're going to get together and talk some more soon and decide what days we want to do another live. So everybody keep a lookout, check that or hit that bell for notifications so that you can get notified of our next live. We have recordings, conversations, some pictures, text messages and stuff that we're going to be sharing, and I would love everybody to come back and support Hotmess for coming out and sharing her story. Again, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome, Sammy. Thank you for having me. Everybody, thank you for the love and prayers.
Thank you so much.
Brandy, kisses and hugs to you and the family.
Well, we love you. Thank you so much, hon. I'm going to bring you down and play some music, and you can always join us in the comment section now.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love it. I absolutely love that she decided to come back and has agreed to come back for more lives. I think it's really super exciting to just get some more information out there. And since BRANDI has been asking creators to do lives to bring more awareness for Michael. Any new information is good information in a child's case. So again, if you know anything about Michael's case, if you know anything about the 4 suspects, Sarah Wondra, Stacey Wondra, Brandon Sherliff, or Adrian Lucian, please call the tip line at 208-642-6006 or find Michael at fruitland.org. These are the pictures of the suspects. And again, one more thing before we leave. Not only do we want to throw up some monkeys and some blue hearts for Michael and show BRANDI that her army is here fighting for her, we also want to talk about the Vaughn's holiday wish list that's at the top in the pin section. You can click that and donate whatever you feel like you want to donate to the family, whether it's a card for the teenagers, whether it's, you know, some toys for Buggy. The family will be so grateful for any help that you can give. And I do want to just say it one more time too. Our channel is always here for Monkey. I am very grateful to be able to advocate for him, for being asked by Purple to advocate for him in BRANDI's time of need while she's sick. And I just want anybody out there to know, if you know something, or, you know, you have a story to share, come up, talk about it. And with that being said, I'm going to play a video for some prayers for Monkey and hit that notification bell for some more notifications for this week's coming up lives, more lives with Hotmess. Thanks again, doll, for coming on the show. We appreciate you.